very good at that. Hopefully you're not going into debt to do that. And if you are, I don't recommend that. It's $120,000 if you pass the bar. But the money that you're making now, do not spend it. Just save it, and rather offset the expense that you will have or debt if you're going into debt to go to college. Again, not much retirement investments. It will not change drastically your life. Although if you invest right now at 20, you will have that much more time to grow. But in the long scheme of things, focus on your school, because this is your investment into yourself. Get better, make sure you have money so you don't have to work if you don't need to, and go focus on studying, get better at this, become a lawyer. Then you will make the money very fast. Okay, let's go to the next one. Advice to a 20-year-old for financial independence. I am from a third world country with no father or capital. I have only accounting skill and I work as intern. I have a B plan and spend my time and energy on it, trading in Forex. But our currency is so low versus USD. I just need guide to how to achieve financial freedom as man who has no support or help. Who Well, when I came to this country, I have had no support or help. After we got married, my father actually surprised me with some money that he sent here for our wedding, which was unexpected and sweet. But I was a man that had no support. I did have a father, but he was overseas, and first time I saw him was in 12 years after I came to America. So, what would I do in this situation? Trading is a losing proposition. It's like gambling. It makes you feel that you can earn this potential, but statistically, very low percentage of people can actually beat S&P 500, which is 10 to 12% interest a year. So if you make a 1% on your trades a month, you at S&P level, but you need to do so much work to do that. You need to watch prices all the time, where in the retirement you put it in there, or any really investing, generally retirement, because it's a long term. If it's a long term, you just put it there, you forget, you just dollar cost average over time, and it grows. With trading, you can't do that. You have to watch and you have to stress. At some point when I started learning, I was learning from a UPS driver about trading, and he would show me a chart graph, and he would tell me, oh, if you would buy here on the very bottom, some kind of dip, and then, oh, if you sell here on the very top, then you made that much. And it would be like, to me, wow, that's great. But when you're not looking at the chart from the past, you're looking at today, and it's right there in the middle. You can go up or you can go down. Opposite, go up or go down. You have no idea. Now imagine you have thousands of dollars. Now imagine it's somebody else's money. It's not going to be just that cut and dry, and I have experienced that. Anyway, statistically, only a small percentage of people can beat S&P 500, which does its own thing by itself, no input needed. And not only does it by itself, but also people who can beat performance of S&P 500 cannot do it over several years. All right, there are people who managing funds for their living, and that's what they do 24/7. They manage that, and it's hard for them to beat S&P 500. So I do not recommend that. Now, as to your financial independence, that's a good goal. It's a good goal. That's where you're going. What you better off is to save on money that you make. You spend less, try to make more, and that difference is what you can play with. You can buy things that bring you money, assets, like real estate, for example, right? Or you can say buy a car, fix a car, and flip a car. Okay, it's a smaller investment, right? But smaller return as well. and it's more elbow grease. So these are the things that can be done. And you're 20-year-old, invest into something that you know or what you enjoy. Get best at this. And then, of course, the every level of the wealth game comes into play. You create a budget, you work off of that, you protect your income if you're married, then save up emergency fund, pay off all the debt, increase the emergency fund to a full size, 3 to 6 month. Then you put away 15% of your um, income into retirement, and do that over what, 40, 47 years. And there you go. All of a sudden, overnight, you have financial independence. And that's the goal. And I'm glad you're asking these questions at 20 years old. Hopefully, you got good question, a good answer, rather. Okay, next question. We moving to 30-year-old. Mid 30s, advice needed on whether to take a very high stress, high paying job now and retire early, or take an easier job but retire later. Okay. Hello, all. I'm mid 30s right now, and I have an opportunity to take a job that will pay me a substantial amount of money over the next 4 years. So much so that my 40 is I could then use that money to take an easier job and sort of coast. My question is, should I decline this job and take an easier one for less pay but much less stress and retire later, or take the higher stress, high paid job now and retire earlier? In the case, in the easy job case, I'll retire on the normal 60s timeline. In the hard job, I could easily retire by 45, 50. I'm not married, not in a relationship, and have no kids, but would like to get married at some point and would love to work, and don't live to work. I certainly work to live. Work to live. I don't prefer to be stressed out all the time, but I'm wondering if it's worth it because it's easier retirement. I'm often told you are only young once, and I feel like I may be squandering my opportunity to be young by taking a higher stress job. Wondering if there's anyone out there that took easier path in situation like this, and what their thoughts results were.